In board exams also many questions come from this chapter. So today we will explain what is biodiversity and what are the different levels of biodiversity. Okay. So biodiversity as it is defined, that diversity at all the level of biological organization. So bio means already know, bio means living, and the diversity means varieties. So all over the world you can find out there are different varieties of the plants and the animals. For example, suppose you take the plants and the animals which are found in India, then you can find out large varieties are there. For example, suppose you take any African country, then there also, because it is a tropical country, so there also you can find out large varieties of plants and animals. For example, suppose you take the America, then the biodiversity, so that will be less. So all over the world, as we are moving to different parts of the world, then the number of biodiversity, so that is variable. And altogether, when we are taking all the different types of the living organisms which are found on Earth, then that is called biodiversity. Okay? So there are three levels of biodiversity. One is the genetic diversity, second is species diversity, and the third is ecological diversity. So now the question is, what is genetic diversity? Diversity at gene level of one species. For example, suppose you are taking one single species. Then in the single species also you can find out there are so many different varieties are there. And why there are different varieties are there? Because you can find out the difference in the gene or the chromosomal level. Because each species is having a constant chromosome number. Like for example, suppose you take the pea plant. Pea plant, the chromosome number is 16. But even in that single species also you can find out there are so many varieties are there. Why? Because at the gene level the variation is found. Variation in seed. So that is called genetic diversity. For example, in India there are 1000 varieties of mango. Mango, what is the botanical name? So that is Mangifera indica. So indica is the species. And in that single species you can find out, so there are 1000 varieties of mango. So how the different varieties they are produced? So because diversity at the gene or chromosomal level. For example, you take rice. In India you can find out there are around 5000 varieties of the rice. So that is also another example of genetic diversity. Then the plant which is called Rauwolfia vomitoria. So the species that is vomitoria, and this is a medicinal plant. It is found in Himalayan range. Because even in the Himalaya also you can find out, suppose you go to the bottom of the Himalaya, there are different kinds of the biodiversity are there. As you are moving up on the mountain of Himalayas, then the number and the varieties they are becoming different. So at the top you can find out the different varieties of the plants and the animals. At the bottom you can find out different varieties of plants and animals. So it is found in Himalayan range, and also there you can find out this single species, the vomitoria. It is having so many different varieties. And how we are able to know there are different varieties? Because this plant can produce a chemical, the name of the chemical, so that is reserpine. And the reserpine, so the potency is different. The potency means how much powerful. So in the different varieties you can find out in some plants, some varieties the potency is low. In some varieties the chemical reserpine which is found, the potency is the high. So like this there are different varieties of the Rauwolfia, so they are found in the Himalayan range. And what is this chemical? So that is actually an alkaloid, and it is obtained from the root bar of the plant. So what is the medicinal value? It is used for curing high blood pressure, cholera, and even snake bite also. Okay, so when we can see the variations of one single species, and by the variation there are different varieties they have produced, then this kind of the diversity, so that is called genetic diversity. The second level of diversity, so that is species diversity. Species diversity means, for example, suppose you take one single genus. Then in that single genus also you can find out there are so many different species species are there. So that is called species diversity. For example, because you have to remember all these examples. In board exams you get the example. Like for example, the question is given, greater amphibian species they are found in Western Ghat in comparison with the Eastern Ghat. So what kind of biodiversity it is? So like this, you will get the question. So you have to remember all the examples. So in the Western Ghat, greater amphibian species they are found. Suppose you take the Western and the Eastern Ghat. In the Eastern Ghat, there are less amphibian species are found. Whereas in the Western Ghat, you can find out more number of amphibian species. So that is an example of species diversity. Then the third one, so that is ecological diversity. Ecological diversity means diversity at the ecosystem level. Now you know that there are different kinds of ecosystem are there. Land ecosystem is there, then the water ecosystem is there. Then you can find out there are different kinds of forests are there, evergreen forest, deciduous forest, rain forest, and the tropical areas, tropical ecosystem are there, temperate ecosystem are there. So all over the world you can find out, depending on the habitat, there are different kinds of the ecosystem are there. And the environment and the climatic conditions of the ecosystem, they are also responsible for the origin of many new species of plants and the animals. Like for example, suppose you take the example of a tropical evergreen forest, then you can find out the biodiversity which is found there. So that is different from the temperate forest. So why? Because the climatic conditions, so that is different. And depending on what kind of plants is growing in that particular area, then the varieties of the animals will also be different. Like for example, suppose you go to the Arctic area, the polar area, you can find out the animals which are found there, so they are different from the animals which are found on land. So why? Because the ecological conditions are different. Okay? So for example, here the example is given. For example, in India, which is a tropical country, and in India you can find out there are different seasons are there. Summer is there, rainy season is there, and the winter is there, and also there are different type of the ecosystem are there. You can find out in some of the state desert are there. In some of the state you can find out the temperature is little bit high. In some other state the temperature, so that is the moderate temperature. Here you can find out all different kinds of forests they are also found. So India, because there are different type of the ecosystem, so India is rich in biodiversity. But for example, suppose you take the country Norway, where the climatic condition is not as suitable, as favorable as it is found in India, and many the ecosystems, so that is the grassland ecosystem. Naturally, when number of ecosystem will be less, then the biodiversity will also be less. Okay? So, why the biodiversity conservation? So that is important. So that is important for survival and well-being of planet. If the number of biodiversity will be more, because from the biodiversity we are getting so many things. From the nature we are getting so many things, the timber we are getting, food we are getting, medicine we are getting, fiber we are getting, and from the plants also, from the animals also we are getting so many benefits. So for the survival of the human being, the ecosystem should be, or the biodiversity should be conserved. And if you want a stable ecosystem all over the world, and you want to conserve the planet, then also you have to conserve the biodiversity. So that is the importance of biodiversity. Now the question is, how many species are there on Earth? So you can find out there are different taxonomies. They have given different numbers. Like for example, Robert May has given the estimate, so that is 7 million. And as per IUCN data, number of biodiversity is 1.5 million. If you go to tropical area, then the number of biodiversity is more. If you go to temperate area, then the number is less. In tropical area, you can find out there are many species which are yet to be discovered, and the naming, so that is also not completed. So all the estimation, that is actually a scientific guess. Exactly, no scientist can tell what is the exact number of biodiversity on Earth. So these are all the guess. Now here you see there are 3 figures are given, and these figures you get in board exams. Now here the labeling is given in the figure, but in board exams, in place of the labeling there will be written ABC, and you write down what is A, what is B, what is C. So you have to remember the labeling. And here I have written invertebrate and the vertebrate and the plants. So what is the number of invertebrate, vertebrate and the plants on Earth? Now this diagram you see, it shows the number of invertebrates or the biodiversity of invertebrates. Now here you see maximum number is insect, because it is found that 70% of the biodiversity, so that is animal, and 22% they are plants. So here you see in the invertebrate also, so what is the maximum number? The maximum number, so that is insects. And this one is mollusca, crustacean, and the rest of other animals, now they occupy only this place. So this is the biodiversity of invertebrates. If you take vertebrates, then in vertebrates you can find out around 50% they are fishes. And of the remaining 50%, maximum are birds and the reptiles, and the mammals, the number is also low, and the amphibian, their numbers are also low. Okay, so this is the biodiversity of vertebrates. And the third one, here you see the plants. In plants you can find out maximum numbers are in fungi and angiosperms. Then the moss, which is a bright white, fern, which is a pteridophyte, the number is very less. Here you see the diagram of the figure. Now here also you see this is the algae, and the lichen, they are very less in number. So even in the plants also you can find out the number of the fungus and the angiosperms, so they are maximum. So the figure about different type of biodiversity, so that is invertebrate, vertebrate and the plants. So what was drawn? In that figure there was no place of prokaryotes. So this is an important question. Why no place is given to prokaryotes while considering the biodiversity? Okay. So the answer is that taxonomical methods are not suitable to identify, because the identification, you know, so that is one of the method to discover new type of plant and animals. So there are no proper taxonomical method to identify the prokaryotes. Maybe the prokaryotes you can find out these are all the microorganisms. They are very minor organisms. With the help of the microscope they can be seen. So the proper method they are not developed to identify them. And many species of prokaryotes, they are not culturable under lab conditions. If you want to culture them inside your lab, because there are different techniques are there, you have to prepare the culture media, and in the culture medium you have to grow the microorganisms. So there are specific methods are there. But there are some microorganisms which cannot be cultured under lab conditions. So that is the answer. Why the prokaryote? Because what is the actual number? So that is also not known to the biologist or the taxonomist. So no proper place is given, because the number may go to millions. And that is the reason why there is no place given to prokaryotes while considering the diagram of biodiversity. Okay. So the area, what is the land area? Suppose you take the whole world. Then the India occupies only 2.4% of land. So if you take the land, so it is a very small area of the world. But if you consider the number of biodiversity, then India contributes 8.1% of biodiversity. So that means in comparison to the area, the amount of biodiversity, so that is large. And all over the world you can find out there are 12 mega biodiversity countries. Biodiversity countries means you can find out those countries, they are rich in biodiversity, and all over the world there are 12 countries are there which are having rich biodiversity heritage. And India is one of the country. The rank of India is number 8. Okay. So as for Robert May, who is a taxonomist, what is the number of animals? It is 3 lakhs. And the number of plants, so that is 1 lakh. Now the another question is that nature's biological library is burning. So this question also you get in the board exams as a reasoning question. Now here the nature is considered as library. Now you know that in library there are so many books are there. And how can you find out how many books are there in the library? So there is one catalog is there, one register is there, and in the register all the name of the books is written and the number is also written. Suppose you want to find take the help of the catalog. Now similarly in the nature also you can find out there are many different types of plants and animals, they are present. So the nature is considered as a library. For example, suppose the library will burn, then you will not be able to know if there is no catalog, then you will not be able to know which were the books kept in the library. So while this statement is given that nature's biological library is burning, because by human activities nowadays many species gradually they are becoming extinct, and if the species will be extinct, then we cannot see that particular species or particular plant or the animals. So the nature's library is burning, and it is a responsibility